Hi, this is Amy Citrine here, and this is a response to the Deviant Witchery's video, you know, witch up or get the fuck off, basically video is what they were trying to say, in how dabblers can actually damage spirit-human relationships, and this is kind of true. Like, if people don't have a good relationship or a good standing with these spirits aren't going to want to help us anymore. And is the end all of it. And so, you know, you need the right protections in place, you need the right intentions in place. There's that word intention again. And basically just do what you say you're going to do. And if you're not going to do what you say you're going to do in the first place, don't even try. And it's like, the spirits will remind you. Like, even if I forget to give out an offering or something, a spirit will put that idea in my head. You know what I mean? Like, oh, your spell actually worked. Hey, what are we going to do now? And they'll give me an idea for an offering, and I'll give it to them. Like, my spell recently, a spirit totally just wanted an offering out of the blue, and I'm like, okay, so, I'm gonna give you the offering. They wanted bread and butter, and I gave it to them ceremoniously, and guess what? The next day we got rain. So, like, literally the next day we got rain, and that was awesome. So you never know what's gonna happen, and it's usually a good thing. So I'm getting all emotional talking about it, but it's like, develop a relationship with these good spirits. And yes, they all have personalities and whatnot, and they might be finicky or whatever, but it's like, become their ally. You know what I mean? And people might say, like, what kinds of protections do I need? Well, I could do a ritual solely with gestures and like a candle. You know what I mean? And I used to not be able to do candle spells. When I was first starting out, I did candle spells, right? And they didn't work. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Nothing is working because I didn't develop a relationship with fire. And over the years, it's slowly come together because I'm mostly an earth sign, basically. And I have I can connect with the earth really, really easily, which is why I enjoy working with the spirits of the land. And that comes really easily to me. And so working with fire was a little more difficult, but over the years, it has managed to work. And so, it's like now my candles burn cleanly and they burn bright, you know what I mean? And it's working now because I've developed a relationship with that element. And you just gotta keep on working with them, and then they'll start working for you, basically. And it's like, I can see why some spirits would get pissed off at people not putting their work into it, just expecting the spirit to do all the work. But also with certain things, you do need your own protections in place. Know how to meditate, know how to visualize. Big two. And learn how to direct energy. That's a big thing. I have been award for my coven for the past few times, and everybody said, like, I do great at warding. Number one, I have a fantastic shield, and I can expand that shield around a whole room, around a whole big space. And we use this kind of, room that's like a church kind of room, but it's like a multi-faith church, kind of. And so we rent it out. And I'm able to expand have a really big shield. And also, a ward is supposed to direct the energy where it's supposed to go. That's the hard part. You'll just see the ward kind of just like sitting there in ritual, and you're like, What are they doing? They're not doing anything. No. A ward is directing that energy, so they're all thinking about it, you know what I mean? That's what they're doing. They're directing that energy where it needs to go, and they are removing the obstacles. And that can take... I've been a witch since I was 15 or 16? Yeah, something like that. And I'm like basically 30 now, so it's like, whoa. And so things you can do to try to learn first is get that shield up. Have like 3 layers to your shield. Try to get multiple layers to your shield. And also have a layer that is proactive, you know, like on the offense. And actually get visual results. I have gotten out of car accidents because I have such a good shield. One time the car actually self-destruct, basically, like one of the things basically stopped working. It's like it just didn't work anymore because the magic worked in the car so that I would avoid an accident. And so then the mechanic was all like, this should not have happened, this malfunction should not have happened, and it's just like, well, it avoided an accident for me, so it worked. And it's like, I know that my shield is surrounding my car by about 2 feet. Yeah. And it's like, you should have your shield, number 1, and then, you know, and learn to only invite certain entities, you know, around you. The second one is banishing. You should always learn how to banish. There's tons of YouTube videos on there on learning how to banish. And actually, I would say learn how to banish before you put your shield up. Almost. You know, those 2 things kind of go hand in hand. And once you learn those 2 things, you can use your discretion with working with spirits. And you'll know the ones you want to work with the ones you don't want to work with. I'm not going to say good or bad spirits, you know, because that's just too black and white. Just the ones you do want to work with and the ones you don't. The way I like to banish is I use a lot of visualization. So what I do is sometimes I'll pretend there's a lightning bolt coming down and sparking the whole place, and then just things are gone and it like clears the air. So that's kind of how I banish. And, you know, learn different ways. Like, I actually use pentacles in the pentagram. I use pentagram. You know, sometimes if I want to use a visual, I will do the banishing pentagram with the lightning bolt, and the area will be clear of any entity or energies that I don't want there in the first place. And, you know, learn how to do circles, even if you don't want to use them in your practice. Just learn how to create a protective space around you. And then basically, even if spirits know you're there, they kind of won't fuck with you. You know what I mean? At least while you're doing the rituals. So it's like, just know what you're doing, pretty much. And if you don't, ask a lot of questions, even if they seem stupid. And, you know, just be respectful of the craft. Alright. I hope everybody has a wonderful day off. Happy Veterans Day. You know, let's give respect out there. Okay, bye.